contrary to popular belief, or at least contrary to people that live in Jacksonville, there was a second Monday Night Football game last night. Actually, this one took place before that game, and it was a blowout. The Jacksonville Jaguars are a tire fire. I will get to the Buffalo Bills in just 1 second. For people that are new to this channel or people who are not, newsflash, I'm a big Buffalo Bills supporter and even a bigger Josh Allen guy. So I don't need to give him his flowers or pump the pom-poms in the air or wave it even more than I already have. I'll do that in a second. They don't need my pep rally, although I'll give it to them in a few minutes. The Jacksonville Jaguars are a tire fire. I'm not so sure they have a head coach that is capable of actually making a team look disciplined and organized on both offense and defense. But this team looks bad. There is issues everywhere on this Jacksonville Jaguars team. Doug Peterson, the head coach, looks to be on the precipice of being the first coach fired this season. That's how bad it is. And I'm not so sure. And I phrased this question on the show that I'm on every morning, The Drive, 6 to 10 a.m. here in Arizona. I'm not so sure who's getting who fired. Trevor Lawrence looks awful, but the Jacksonville Jaguars are simply not a very good, very well coached team. They look discombobulated. They look disjointed. They don't look like they make any sense on defense or on offense when it comes to personnel or play calling or whatever it is. They look bad. And I'm not so sure if it's the fact that they look so poorly coached or if it's the fact that Trevor Lawrence looks so bad. Trevor Lawrence, regardless of any of these, is probably going to get his head coach fired. Trevor Lawrence is not only this close to being labeled a bust in the NFL, but he has quickly become the worst contract in NFL history. He has an average annual value of $55 million a year. That's to the likes of Joe Burrow and just short of Dak Prescott's $60 million a year. And if you told me right now, who would I rather have? Dak Prescott at $60 million a year or Trevor Lawrence at $55 million a year, considering age and considering their contract, without a doubt, you're taking Dak Prescott. And if you don't understand football. Trevor Lawrence is not a good NFL quarterback. I don't know what it was. I don't know what fooled us, but he has largely been riding the coattails of his freshman season at Clemson when they won the national championship, and we have all just said, "I'll just wait till that guy gets to the NFL," including myself. I am in this too. I'm in the majority. I thought Trevor Lawrence was a slam dunk quarterback prospect. He was tall. He had a big arm. He's a big kid. When you make a quarterback in a factory, Trevor Lawrence is exactly what they look like. Exactly. But Trevor Lawrence, to this point, is going to get his head coach fired. And if anything, is just 6'5" Daniel Jones with better hair. That's all Trevor Lawrence is. He's bad. He's missing wide open guys. He's predetermining the reads. I remember last night I couldn't remember exactly what it was in the situation. I probably should have wrote this down. But the Bengals were literally playing prevent coverage early in the third quarter because it was so blown wide open. Mitchell Trubisky played in this game. And Trevor Lawrence is predetermining reads. There's multiple guys open on the right side of the field. He locks in on one player, couldn't exactly remember who it was. I think it was Gabe Davis, and just chucked in the ball, and it basically was inaccurate, it was out of bounds. Trevor Lawrence is a monstrosity. He's a debacle. He's a bust of a draft pick so far, and he's the worst contract in the NFL. I mean, I swear to you, he might be worse than Deshaun Watson. Not at quarterback. No one's worse than Deshaun Watson at quarterback, but he might have a worse contract than Deshaun Watson. He's making a case for worst contract in the NFL. I'm not so sure anyone is taking that contract off of him. I mean, at this point, how far away is Trevor Lawrence from being benched? Like, realistically, how far is this guy away from being benched? Mac Jones came in last night. he was awful as well. Granted, he only threw the ball 8 times. But Trevor Lawrence, there's not enough words to say on what kind of a bust he will be if it does end up going that way for the Jacksonville Jaguars and Trevor Lawrence. He is missing the interception to Damar Hamlin from Trevor Lawrence was such a gift-wrapped interception to the Buffalo Bills. He missed his intended target by a good 2 feet, and the guy was wide open. There are serious either mechanical issues, cognitive issues when it comes to just the football landscape of things. His football knowledge has got to be lacking, or it's some sort of mechanical issue, or he just doesn't have the physical attributes, which even I don't believe, to make it in the NFL. I can't put my finger on it, but Trevor Lawrence is going to get his head coach fired, is already the worst contract in the NFL, and is seriously on the precipice of being one of the biggest busts in NFL history. That's how strongly I feel after watching the Jacksonville Jaguars last night. I thought that they were going to light a fire under them. They're 0-2. They got to win. I didn't think they'd beat the Bills, but I also didn't believe it'd be 47-10. I mean, you are hitting every panic button in Jacksonville. You are not ruling out drafting a quarterback this year. This team could be one of the worst teams in the NFL. That's how bad it looked. And it's solely on the shoulders of Trevor Lawrence and Doug Peterson. That duo is not working. They don't work individually. They're not working together. And the Jacksonville Jaguars are a tire fire. Now quickly over to Josh Allen and the Buffalo Bills. My golden child. I'm an Arizona Cardinals fan. I cover the Arizona Cardinals. I cover all things NFL over here at Fox Sports here in Phoenix. I think I just might ride the coattails of the Buffalo Bills and being right on that for the rest of my life. I just might go be a Buffalo Bills fan. I might just start jumping through tables. Josh Allen is stupendous. He's a magician. What are people seeing when they don't think Josh Allen is the second best quarterback in the NFL? What are people seeing when they don't think that Patrick Mahomes and Josh Allen stand alone in the NFL? There are some people that think Joe Burrow is the second best quarterback in the NFL. There's no conversation that Josh Allen is better. There's no conversation that Joe Burrow surpasses Josh Allen as a quarterback. There are some people already, well, C.J. Stroud. That's C.J. Stroud. He looks amazing. He is not better than Josh Allen. It's not close. Josh Allen is what you would make in a quarterback lab, similar to what I said to Trevor Lawrence. He's big. He's tall. He's thick. He's got a huge arm. He's accurate. And he's mobile. What does Josh Allen not have? And the Buffalo Bills, who would have thought getting rid of Stephon Diggs, oh yeah, it was me, that they'd be even better. Get that headache out of here. It's Khalil Shakir, it's Keon Coleman, it's Dalton Kincaid, it's Matt Collins, it's James Cook. And make no mistake, the offensive line looks good now. This is a more complete Buffalo Bills team, and it's led by the second best quarterback in the NFL, and I'm willing to listen to arguments that he would be just as good as Patrick Mahomes if those two switch teams. He is phenomenal, and I've always been right on it. I'll continue to pump out my chest that I was right on it. And when there was an article earlier this year from ESPN, from a bunch of anonymous players calling Josh Allen the most overrated player in the NFL, no. Brock Purdy is overrated. Josh Allen, to this point, is underrated because oftentimes players and fans and media members will try to discount what he does because he threw too many interceptions. Well, guess what he doesn't do? Turn the ball over at all this year. Sorry that sometimes he had to carry this organization because they didn't have enough weapons, didn't have an offensive line that could block for him, didn't have a running back until late last year. That sometimes he threw an interception or two. Oh, I guess sometimes that happens. Josh Allen is awesome. The Buffalo Bills are awesome. They're right now they're the most complete and best team in the NFL. I know the Chiefs are awesome. Maybe that's too far. But if the Chiefs are 1 and 1A, the Buffalo Bills are 1B. That's how close they are. Now, will the Chiefs beat them again? Maybe. They're really good in tight games. But I will not take any more Josh Allen slander. I will not take any more Buffalo Bills slander. This team is awesome.